Dr. Arya Voss stood in the sterile laboratory aboard the orbiting research station Erebus 1, staring at the DNA readouts blinking on the holoscreen. The data shimmered with complexity, sequences she had thought extinct for millennia. Her heart pounded. This can't be right, she murmured. The AI assistant, LEX, emitted a soft chime in acknowledgement. Cross-referencing complete, LEX said, its voice smooth and precise. All sequences verified. Genetic material originates from 3 known extinct predators, the Tyranniclaw, the Skyfong, and the Shadowstalker. Arya's fingers trembled as she tapped the console. 3? All in one genome. Her mind raced. Each of those species had vanished over 10,000 standard years ago, wiped out by climate shifts, overhunting, or predation by newer apex creatures. To find them all encoded in a single human, herself, was impossible by all known biology. A hologram of her mother, Dr. Celine Voss, flickered from memory. Arya smiled wryly, the corners of her lips curling as realization dawned. Only on my mother's side, she whispered, almost amused. The truth settled in her mind like a slow-burning ember. Her mother had never been ordinary. The research station had been built to study genetic anomalies, but Arya's case had drawn unprecedented attention. When she had been born, her mother had insisted on secrecy, raising her on tales of distant worlds and strange creatures. It had seemed fantastical, bedtime stories meant to spark imagination, but now, the reality was undeniable. Her DNA was a mosaic of extinct predators, a living bridge between lost eras of evolution. News of the discovery traveled faster than any hypercommunication network could manage. Soon, interstellar agencies and rogue corporations sought permission to study or exploit her. Arya felt the weight of their interest pressing down on her, a mixture of fascination and fear. She was no longer just a researcher. She was an anomaly, a key to resurrection and power. The first visitor arrived within standard hours. Commander Tarek of the Galactic Conservation Corps entered the lab, a human known for navigating political storms as well as battlefields. Dr. Voss, he said formally, your genome could rewrite our understanding of apex predators and hybrid genetics. We request full cooperation. Arya raised an eyebrow, recalling her mother's words. Trust no one fully, even those with the cleanest intentions. I work alone, she replied, her voice firm. And any study must preserve the subject's safety and mine. Tarek hesitated, then nodded. Understood. But we cannot ignore the implications. If your genetics fall into the wrong hands, entire ecosystems could be destabilized. The days that followed were a blur of analysis and introspection. Arya used her own body as a controlled experiment, mapping the behavioral instincts subtly embedded in her physiology. She discovered reflexes that mimicked the extinct predators, an instinctive precision in movement reminiscent of the Shadowstalker, heightened vision in dim light like the Skyfong, and an uncanny strength echoing the Tyranniclaw. Even minor shifts in her environment triggered latent responses. Hair standing on end, claws, or rather, the illusion of claws, seeming to extend from her fingers, a rush of adrenaline sharpened by her hybrid genome. One evening, she activated the neural projection chamber to simulate a lost ecosystem. The holographic jungle surrounded her, dense with shifting shadows and phantom predators. When she moved, her reflexes synchronized perfectly with the holographic prey, her instincts flawless. LEX observed silently. Adaptive responses exceed expected parameters, it noted. You exhibit survival traits beyond human capability. Arya smiled, a mixture of pride and unease. The predator traits were gifts and potential curses. She had to learn control. Without discipline, the instincts could dominate, reducing her humanity to primal reflexes. Her mother had prepared her for this in secret, training her in meditation and focus, but now, confronted with the stark reality of her hybrid nature, the training felt incomplete. Weeks later, a containment breach in the research station provided an unexpected test. A rogue drone, corrupted by a virus, attacked the lab. Alarms blared. Staff scrambled, but Arya acted instinctively. She dodged with agility no ordinary human could muster, leaping over debris, neutralizing the drone with a precise strike that echoed the Tyranniclaw's legendary predatory efficiency. Commanders and scientists watched in awe as she moved through the chaos, blending human intellect with predator instincts. After the incident, Tarek approached her, awe softened by caution. "Dr. Voss, what are you?" His question was blunt but honest. She smiled, the curve of her lips shadowed by understanding. "I am the sum of what came before, human and beyond. But I am still me, and I will choose how these instincts shape my actions." Months passed, and Arya continued her research, balancing the duality within herself. She mapped the genetics of extinct predators, reconstructing neural patterns, studying muscular adaptations, and simulating habitats to understand evolutionary behaviors. Each discovery was groundbreaking, each step forward a dance between curiosity and caution. Eventually, the Interstellar Council acknowledged her autonomy. She was granted a private lab, full access to archival data, and freedom to explore the potential of her unique genetics. While agencies monitored, they recognized that coercion could be dangerous. The instincts embedded within her were not tools to be weaponized lightly. One quiet evening, as the station orbited a pale blue planet, Arya reviewed the final readouts. She traced each extinct predator sequence within her genome, marveling at the elegant complexity. The Tyranniclaw contributed strength and resilience, the Skyfong vision and reflexes, and the Shadowstalker stealth and instinctive cunning. And yet, these traits were moderated by her human consciousness, by empathy, reasoning, and choice. LEX's voice broke the silence. "Your genome represents the apex convergence of extinct traits and human adaptability. Analysis indicates potential for controlled expression without risk of dominance by predatory instincts." Arya nodded, folding her hands over the readouts. She thought of her mother, who had whispered tales of lost worlds and creatures beyond imagination. She thought of the paths ahead, paths of discovery, danger, and perhaps reconciliation with the lost predators whose essence coursed through her veins. A soft chime announced a visitor. A young scientist, eager and trembling, entered the lab. "Dr. Voss, may I observe?" Arya smiled. "Only if you respect the lessons these genes carry. They are not mere curiosities. They are legacies. And remember," she gestured to the screen, highlighting the sequences of Tyranniclaw, Skyfong, and Shadowstalker. "These are my mother's gifts." Only on her side. The young scientist gasped, understanding dawning. Arya's smile widened, a mixture of pride, mystery, and reassurance. "Now let us begin." In the orbiting station, amidst holographic jungles and simulated predator habitats, Arya continued her work. She became a bridge between eras, a living record of what once walked, flew, and stalked the Earth long before humanity rose. Her DNA, a rare synthesis of life lost to time, reminded the galaxy that evolution's threads, once thought severed, could endure, carefully preserved in the right hands, tempered by wisdom, and guided by